We were all born into a world full of interlinked systems. Family, friend group, neighborhood, culture, class, country. Every one of those systems comes with rules and expectations, whether they're explicitly stated or left unspoken. So when we grow up, we often don't question most of our beliefs. We just absorb them and follow them unconsciously, treating them as obvious, natural, or simply common sense. But actually, nothing man-made is ever the ultimate truth or fixed. Most of what people treat as unquestionable is built on agreement, repetition, and social conditioning. Of course, systems are necessary for society to function. They create order, structure, and continuity. But on an individual level, they also train people to stay within what has already been defined for them. Especially if you grew up in a country with access to formal education, you were placed into a system that taught you to externalize your power. You were taught to obey authority figures, consume material already laid out for you, ask questions but not too many, and accept fixed answers as right, which makes everything else seem wrong. There's no denying the value of education and knowledge. They expand your mind and can give you real power. But the way knowledge is usually delivered still trains you to measure yourself against external standards first. And often, if you were born into a certain socioeconomic class, there are outside forces at work that make it harder to leave it, again, in service of social order. The greatest detriment of all of this is that you learn to trust everyone and everything else but yourself. So you start doubting the very desires, dreams, and goals you carry within. You doubt your abilities and your capacity to achieve what you want, and you doubt your own worth and question whether you're even good enough to begin with. And on the outside, through family, friends, school, work, social media, and the news, you constantly see examples of how great, beautiful, successful, and rich other people are. So you feel pressured to move toward the goalposts that have been pushed on you. Sometimes you may even think your goals and desires are your own, when in fact they've been internalized so deeply that they only feel like yours because external recognition has become tied to your sense of worth. If you feel like your life isn't quite fully yours, like you're moving through your everyday life and some things are working, but deep down you don't feel truly fulfilled, then that's a sign that something needs to shift. Not necessarily on the outside, but within you. Because no matter what your past or your current circumstances are, there comes a point where you have to accept full responsibility for yourself and your life moving forward. No matter whether you were hurt, betrayed, or wronged by someone else, there comes a point where you have to decide that from this moment onward, you're no longer letting those experiences define the direction of your life. You don't need to change everything drastically on the outside. You don't need to disrupt your whole routine, abandon your responsibilities, or suddenly act like a completely different person around everyone you know. You simply make the internal decision to stop handing your authority away. You've always been shaping your life in a way, just not always consciously. So now it begins with returning full authority to yourself, and you train this through every decision, big or small. Instead of immediately asking others what to do, what to choose, or what to change, you start by asking yourself first. And when you feel indecisive, go deeper. What do I want? Why do I want it? What do I believe that desire would give me emotionally? In this way, you begin to understand yourself better. You learn why you want certain things and what makes you react and act the way you do. You may realize that some things you thought you wanted aren't truly yours anymore. Or it may validate you why you want certain things and make you more decisive and resolute about your goals. You also begin to see there was never something inherently wrong with you to begin with. A lot becomes clearer once you understand your natural disposition, your preferences, and your inner truth. Then you start defining life for yourself. What your ideal day looks like, how you want to look, which activities fully engage you and bring you joy, how you want to spend your free time, what kind of environment you want to live in, and who you want to be surrounded by and spend your life with. When you stop looking outward for permission, inspiration, advice, and answers, and begin sitting in silence with yourself, you eventually come to very clear realizations. The key is to return the power to yourself, to decide that you are the author of your life, to give yourself permission to unapologetically be yourself. From there, everything begins to unfold differently. Once you place the power over your reality back onto yourself, you become clearer and more solid in your vision of life. And that vision can only really unfold when you take full responsibility and fully trust yourself. Because then you start receiving certain nudges and you actually act on them. The more you do that, and the more you see how well things work out, the more your self-trust deepens. Start with the smallest decisions: what to eat, what to wear, what to do in your free time. Don't automatically delegate those choices to other people. If you don't hold your own power, someone else will. So in every area of your life, get clear about your desires. Then question whether everything you've learned about money, love, success, and fulfillment is truly serving those desires or not. From there, begin choosing to believe in and do only what's aligned with what you actually want. If you're ready to go deeper into that process with real structure, the Izna Sapa alignment system was built for exactly this. It helps you release what isn't yours, reclaim your inner direction, and rebuild your life from a place that actually feels true. The link is in the description.